Hello YouTube, this is MrVlandus, BP Baggett, author of Legends of Aerlin, D.I.Y Blood and Steel, Heroes of Aerlin, and Mini Bartha. So, I've decided that I want to make another book nook. I've finished several so far, so I'm gonna make another one, but this time I'm gonna try to edit this to where I show you what I use. That way, if you guys decide to make one yourselves, you can. So, the stuff you're going to need for this kind of a build, several things. First, you're going to need some cardboard. So you need popsicle sticks for making the bookshelves. You're going to need a light source, also from the dollar store. All these popsicle sticks and everything I get from the dollar store. I think you get like 100 or so, or 200 for $1, I think. A ruler, of course, a pen. You're gonna need some brushes. If you want to get the exact size for the book nook, you get a book. Already Authortube, pick it up. Very good book. So you need a book to get the exact measurements. PVA glue. I get this also at the dollar store. So, yeah. Put all this aside for a second. Made that. It was once made out of popsicle sticks, but I made a silicone mold and made a copy. So I'll be having several of these probably stacked up on each other to make the bookshelves on the inside. And the good thing about a mold is that you have a fireplace. It's going to be in there with the mantle and probably like one level of this books on top. So it's going to be a little bit different, but everything else you can use to make the bookshelves. You can make the fireplace and so forth. But to make the books, you'd have to show you real quick. So cut it. If you want to keep that ruffled in, you can. You just put glue in it. You can leave it this size, or you make it smaller. And it looks like a book. That's pretty much what I did in here. Made a bunch of different sizes, and I used beads for like bottles and so forth. So anyway, okay, so let's get on with this build. So what you see here is me taking the book that you pick from the shelf and just measure around, copy the same size onto the cardboard. That way you have an exact measurement of the book size you want the book nook to be. And then I go through to add some extra inch or half inch, quarter inch, whatever you want for the wiring and to hide the housing where you put the lights. So that's just what I'm doing here. Here you see me getting some cereal box to cut out the same size as the side paneling. That way you can hide the corrugation. For the side paneling, you want to make at least 4. That way it covers both sides of the walls of the cardboard. Now here you see me doing what I consider my first mistake. Was I covered the whole side paneling in glue, and that was on both sides of the wall, and I probably shouldn't have done that. I probably should have stuck to hot glue and hot glued it instead of actually incorporating this step here. I mean, you can use PVA glue to help glue it together, but the result of what I did here actually caused it to warp really bad, and which caused the change of the result of the end product. So you'll see those later on. This is something I wanted to show you guys. I probably should have showed you at the beginning of the video when I listed all the materials that you would need. You don't necessarily have to have a mirror in there, but for me, when I want to build an item, I want to have it to where it shows the depth of the building, so the mirror kind of adds to that. And I also picked this up at the dollar store. I wanted to stop real quick and in the process of working on this to show you an idea. So one of my thoughts is to have it covered to where all you see is that, and this right here is bookshelves up this way, maybe bookshelves here, and over here this will be hidden. You wouldn't see this part, but in the reflection you'd see a fireplace or whatnot. Or I might just have bookshelves going that direction. Okay, so here comes to the part of showing you guys how to make the bookshelves. I know not everybody has access to making resin copies, so I'm going to show you how to do it with chopsticks, popsicle sticks. Sorry. I know there's probably better channels out there that show how to do this, but I'm going to show you how I do it. So these pliers that I have in my hand here, they're miter pliers, I believe. I picked them up off of eBay, not eBay, but Amazon, and they really help to keep the edges straight and cut right. I use those to help me out to make the right angles and so forth, and right measurements, because actually there's measurements on there and different angles you could cut it at, so I use that. But what you see here is I'm cutting them to a length that I thought would be good for 28 millimeter scale, but later on I second guessed that and I changed that. But right here you see me making the back brace, linking the back boards of the bookshelf together. That way they're able to be held together properly. And then I go through and I put the side paneling ones just to basically make the frame of the bookshelf, and then I go through and measure the shelves to be put in there. Okay, so the next thing I generally do is I paint the inside all black. You don't have to do that, but I do it just in case there's a spot I missed on covering up. It doesn't really show up that much. It's not too visual. So now I gotta decide how to place these items inside and build up the inside to look like a library. Okay, I know it's probably been skipped a couple of steps, but right here in front of you is what I added so far. So what I used here is chipboard, regular cereal box, glue a couple sheets together to get this thickness if you want to use this thickness or whatnot. So in between there I have some foam. There we go. So that's gonna glue down there like that, and then I'll have a upper level to glue down here. Made quite a few of these bookshelves, and these are just gonna sit in there like that. Yeah. So, all right, let's truck on. YouTube. So, in the process of actually making this video, trying to make the book nook to where you guys can actually see what I'm doing. It's been like 3 weeks or so, and there were some times where I just sat down and wanted to get it done, get it out of the way. So there was times where I didn't videotape. So you're going to see a huge jump from where I was and to a completed product. And like I said, I do apologize for this. I will have some stills. Again, like I said, I'm sorry. I didn't get a chance to videotape a lot of the work because I was in a rush to get it done. And hopefully you guys can actually enjoy this and see the process of how I do it. And this is all done by hand. I don't use any machines. I use a knife and measuring ruler and all that. So hopefully you guys can enjoy this. I will do some commentary as to explain what you're looking at, and yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll come back in a little bit anyway, so alright, thanks guys. YouTube. So what you see before you is the actual finished book nook itself. It's done. I just a little to videotape it and how it was having to fix issues. So this build didn't go exactly how I wanted it to go. How I envisioned it was was a lot easier than what I had to do. So, but it's finished. I painted it up. It's a little bit taller than that book that I used because of the issue. The issue was from here to up here. This side was warping out because of what I did by putting glue and soaking it, pretty much. And it turned out not so good. So what I ended up doing was making sure this piece was straight and was square, and then as I went along gluing it, I pushed it in, glued it, pushed it in a little more, glued it until it just was straight. So that's how I fixed that. And this is actually chipboard, graphics medium chipboard. I don't have a link for it, so you just have to go on Amazon and look for it. It's like 25 sheets for $15, which really isn't that bad. And they're 12 by 15 inches, I think. with the lights turned on. I got a wood paneling roof up there. And those little bottles you see on the table there, those are made from hot glue. You just put a wax paper or a mat that's not non-stick, like this green mat that I have. I can put hot glue on it and just pop it off. But anyway, you just squeeze out a little bit for the base of the bottle, and then you let it harden, and then you just go back and you gently squeeze out a little more. And as it comes out, you want to do this motion to get the neck of the bottle. The shields, I made them out of cardboard, cereal box. The doors, cereal box. I got this, made this out of chipboard. This is where the power switch is. I cut it out like this, that way you can pop it off. And then put it back on. And it stays there. So, these little embellishments, little corner things, I got them from Amazon. They were for my tomes that I make. So I thought they looked really nice on them on this.